right. Sounds good. So I think we're live now. Okay, so let's get started. So hello everyone, welcome to the episode of Connecting with Tong. This is episode number 46, and for those who haven't met me before, my name is Sam Lee, and I'm the founder of Connecting with Confidence, and I'll be the interviewing Tong. So how you been, Tong?
Good, Sam. Really well. Thanks for having me. Really excited.
No worries. Thanks for joining my interview. Appreciate your attendance. So it's really cool. So yeah. Will, tell me, what did you do over the long weekend?
Well, I'm a father of three, so I pretty much spent my weekends with my kids, my family.
Yep.
Also just moved home. So been really busy just unpacking, doing bits and pieces around the house, just trying to, settle into the new house. And that's pretty much consumed my whole entire weekend.
Okay, sounds good. Wow, yeah. must be very busy if you have three children and then you're moving houses. That's just double the workload.
Oh, mate, yeah. So it's been a crazy couple of weeks. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, cool. And are you upgrading to like a bigger house since you got like bigger family and things like that?
Yeah. So we got a house now, 4-bedroom house. Closer to my extended family. So just bigger real estate and bigger house to maintain, which is look, it's nice. Can't complain. Yeah. It's just kind of finally settling in now after a couple of weeks.
Cool. So how old are your children?
They're all two of them are in primary school, and one of them is just 2 years old. So pretty young. Yeah, pretty young at the moment. Yeah, so keeping us pretty busy.
That's cool. So you make the money and you also take care of the children. That's good. Multitasking.
That's the goal.
Sounds great, man. So yeah. So tell me a little bit about your Japan trip. Recently, I saw you on social media posting on Japan. How long did you go for?
Japan was great. So we were there for 3.5 weeks.
Wow.
So we visited 4 cities.
Yep.
So we're in Tokyo, and then we're in Saitama, which is an hour north of Tokyo.
Yep.
And then went to Yokohama, and then we were at Fuji Mountain. Yeah, so that was great. It was a good trip. Good to get away. Haven't been overseas, obviously, for the last few years because of lockdown. So it's great to go there. My missus, she's Japanese, so went there to see her family as well. So it's overall just a nice trip. It was a bit tiring with children, but other than that, I can't complain. It's good to get away.
So have you been in Japan many times, or is this your first time?
A few times, but mostly as a tourist. This time we went more to see family. So we didn't really go to many touristy. We didn't do that many touristy stuff. So kind of stayed local, which is kind of nice because I got to experience the Japanese culture and got to practice my really, really, really bad Japanese. So it was nice. So it was good to get there. It was 3.5 weeks. It was quite long. So it was just one of those things where when you stay in one place for so long, you kind of just really get to appreciate the lifestyle there, which is what I was really looking forward to, and that's what I got out of the trip.
Interesting. So what was the highlight of the trip?
Disneyland.
Is it for your children or is it for yourself?
Of course it's for my kids. No, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it more than them, I think.
Oh, really?
The Disneyland was great. So went to both Disneyland and Disney Sea. So spent 2 days there. And then Fuji Mountain was also really good. I hadn't been to Fuji Mountain. So we went up to the 5th station, which is basically halfway up the mountain. We spent quite a few days in that area, which is quite nice. And the food. I mean, food. Wow.
You can't go wrong with the food in Japan, right?
It's so good. It's so good.
Did you gain weight or you not really?
Probably. I've been too scared to weigh myself, so I don't know. I
You'll
don't
be
know. I
fine.
feel like I have.
It's all right. You're a fitness expert, so you should be fine.
Hope so.
Yeah, man. Cool. So yeah, Will, tell me a bit about yourself. So what do you like to do outside of work? Like what's your hobbies, what's your passion, etc.?
Yeah, well, I guess, first and foremost, I'm a dad. I'm a dad of three, and I love spending time with my kids. So I think when I'm not working, I'm probably spending time with my family.
Yep.
Just playing with my kids, taking them out, and all those type of things.
Yep.
I don't have a lot of spare time, so to speak, these days because I'm running my own business. So that in itself is quite demanding.
Yep.
So really, outside of work, family, health and fitness is really important to me. So I do spend a lot of time making sure that I stay on top of my health and fitness. I work out. I try to eat right. I try to study as much about, just optimizing performance as much as I can.
Yep.
I do spend a lot of time just listening to podcasts like yours.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of learning a little bit more about fitness, life, business, the world, and various other sort of interesting topics that's sort of trending at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess work, family, and fitness are kind of my passion and hobbies. And then when I do get time, I love watching movies. So I've got a nice kind of theater room decked out in a new house.
Yep.
With nice surround sound system. So yeah, when I do get a chance, maybe once every couple of weeks, I'll sit there and watch a nice movie.
Interesting. Nice.
Yeah.
So in terms of fitness, well, like, do you go to the gym a lot, or what's your fitness?
So the thing is with fitness, a lot of people have this misconception that you have to go to the gym, 6 times a week to get fit.
Yep.
In reality, to get fit, it just starts with a mindset. It's all about starting with a mindset.
Yeah.
As Tony Robbins says, it's 80% mindset and 20% mechanics.
Yep.
So, getting fit and healthy is not rocket science. Everyone knows how to do it.
Yep.
Everyone knows how to do it. Just eat less junk and move more. And that's pretty much about it.
Yep.
So I think, as long as you've got the right mindset and the right reason as to why you want to work out, why you want to get fit, then you will just naturally do it. And I guess, to answer your routine a little bit more, to answer your question a little bit more detail, my routine is make sure that I practice intermittent fasting. So during Monday to Friday, I do the 16-8, so which is 16 hours of fasting, 8 hours of feeding.
Yep.
I have a cheat day, usually on Saturdays.
Yep.
And then after my cheat meal, I try to do a 24-hour fast on a Sunday.
Wow.
And that's really just to kind of reset reset my body.
Yep.
And there's all these other benefits to fasting, which obviously we won't get into today. And then in terms of workouts, I work out at home now. So I've got equipment at home. So I do that probably not as much as I like to, but 3 or 4 times a week I will work out, and it's usually 30 to 40 minutes. But what I really focus on is my diet. That's a huge thing. I don't drink any soft drinks. We have really no junk food at home.
Yep.
I mean, obviously, like on my cheat days, I'll have a burger and pizza.
Yep.
Live a little. But I make sure I get enough protein. I make sure I get enough micronutrients in my diet as well.
Yep.
So I think, if you get your diet right, that's 80% of the battle.
Cool. Thanks for the advice. This is very good, valuable advice that you have. So, so what's the secret to being a six-pack abs dad? Is that what you just said?
Dad with 6-pack. Like I said, it's just that's the secret. There's no secret. It's just having the mindset to do it. It's just like everything in life. It's never easy. But if you stick with it long enough, you get the results.
Nice. And how do you get the mindset? How do you get the motivation to be able to do that?
It comes down to what you want in life. You know, like what you want in life. Everyone's different. Everyone's goals are different. But I'm a firm believer that in order for you to maximize your life, to optimize your performance, it starts with your body. You know, it starts with your body. And when I say body, I'm also including your brain, your mind as well, because they act in unison. You can't have the right mindset without the right body, and vice versa. So it really kind of starts with that. It's just looking after your own health. That's kind of my kind of motivation, because I know that if I don't have my health, I don't have the energy, then I won't be able to play with my kids. That's really demanding on its own, and I won't be able to run, my businesses, which are also kind of like my babies as well. So, it's like, if you want to drive a Formula One car, you got to make sure that car has got the right fuel in it. So that's kind of what that's what I believe in. It all starts with the brain and the body.
Interesting. So so you can actually make a living out of this, helping other people to do the same as a dad, right? It takes a lot of motivation to do that. I don't think if I was like a dad, I have that kind of motivation like you to be able to be fit and things like that. So pretty cool. Hats off to you, man.
Yeah, thanks, mate. No, it's just like I said, it just depends on what you want in life, right? Not everyone wants a six-pack.
Yeah.
Well,
I assume everyone wants it, but it's not easy to get, right?
well, it's about your priority. You probably have like 100 priorities in life, and it just depends on which ones to your top 5. And you don't need a six-pack to be healthy. As long as you're eating right, and that's 80% of the battle.
Yeah, that's very true. Nice. So cool. Will, tell me about your what do you do for work? Like I see all sorts of things on Facebook. Like you help people with fitness, you help people with real estate. You're a property mentor. Tell me all about what you do to make a living.
Yeah, thanks for asking. So I guess I will probably say I'm in 2 industries, so to speak. So I'm a property expert. So I spent the last 21 years in the property industry. So I have a company called Property Lions, where we help investors buy the right property. And basically help individuals and families build wealth with property. And that's probably 90% of where my time is spent in terms of my work. And then the other 10% is in fitness. So I have a business called Real Estate Fitness. And I specialize in helping real estate agents get fit and healthy. For the same reason as why I do it. Because real estate is pretty demanding. It can get very demanding. Both kind of physically and mentally. So you're gonna have to stay on top of your game and be sharp. So that's basically what I do. And a lot of that kind of crosses over as well a little bit.
For sure.
But real estate fitness is kind of my hobby, my passion. And then Property Lions is probably where I make most of my income.
Sounds good. So what made you go into real estate? Like I was a real estate agent before. Like I was like doing selling second-hand residential and then off the plan. Because like selling properties is the most commission that you get, right? So what made you drive into real estate?
Yeah, well, it's actually a really good question, because I don't think many kids ever aspire to be a real estate agent when they're growing up. Right. When adults ask children, what do you want to be when you grow up? I don't think many people say, hey, I want to be a real estate agent. So I think what happened to me was when I was in high school, I wanted to become a physio because I was just so passionate about health and fitness. But I didn't get the grades to get into physio. So I kind of got very disappointed, and then I just went to uni and just got an accounting degree. And then I realized I don't want to be an accountant. It's just not who I am. And I kind of fell into real estate in 2001. was after the Olympics, and I think the property market was doing pretty well.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, hey, maybe this is something that I can try. So I just kind of just went, just give it a try. I didn't really think too serious about it.
Yeah.
But once I got in there, I understood what real estate was all about. It really appealed to me.
Yeah.
And I've been doing it, for 21 years. So that's how I got started. And then obviously along the way, I learned a lot of things. I worked in the commercial property sector as well for a number of years.
Yeah.
So I've been exposed to a wide range of, real estate, related sectors, which is quite, very, very interesting. And I think real estate is one of those things that every human being in the world can relate to. So it's a really good channel to connect with people.
Very true.
So that's how that's kind of the background on how I got started.
Yep. That's very interesting. Nice. Yeah, and I guess like image is very important, right? I believe like when you're a sales, you need to sell yourself more, and it's really good that like you're in shape because people look up to you, like the way you dress, the way you look, the way etc. So if you look good, then it's easier to do real estate, I guess, in a way. So, and you mentioned that you've been working for 21 years, so that kind of exposes your age, right? So I guess you were in the early 20s when you started real estate.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so right out of uni. So it was 21. So I'm 42 now.
Yeah. Wow. 21.
Yeah.
Did anyone like convince you to do real estate, or it's just yourself? You just wanted to do real estate all by yourself?
Well, actually, I asked my mom. I said, hey, I'm thinking about real estate. What do you think? And then mom's pretty like she's a pretty savvy equity investor.
Yeah.
She's got a lot of shares. And then she said, the next best thing to shares is real estate. Sure. Yeah, go. I said, okay, great, thanks, Mum. And I had moments where I hated real estate and wanted to get out. But I think it's just with every career, right? If you have success, you just become more passionate about it, and you just want to stay with it. I think I had a period where I just wasn't very successful, so I wanted to kind of get out of it. But I eventually stuck with it, and here I am.
Yep. Would you ever change careers?
I mean, maybe, maybe, but I think like I always been doing real estate in some form.
Yeah.
I mean, I started off as an agent selling property.
Yeah.
And then I got into commercial properties, more advisory.
Yeah.
Now I'm doing more investments.
Yeah.
Advisory.
Yeah.
And so I think if I were to get out of what I'm doing now, I still have some sort of real estate related career, because that's what I know best. Yeah. So don't know. It could be a funds. Could be starting a fund. I don't know. Don't know yet. Yeah.
Cool. So I'm guessing you probably have a big portfolio right now, right?
I have a portfolio.
Pays the bills, pays the bills, and you can make a living, right? So it's pretty important, I guess. Yeah.
Pays the bills. Yeah. I have a pretty high upkeep with 3 kids.
That's good. As long as you're not struggling, that's it. That's what it's all about. So yeah. So what's your background, Will? So are you born here in Australia, or where were you born?
Born in Hong Kong.
Oh, okay.
Born in Hong Kong. Came here when I was 5.
Yep.
And pretty much grew up here. So I'm pretty much your ABC if you if you think about it. Grew up here since I was 5.
Yep. Cool. Interesting. I'm pretty much the same as you. I was born in Hong Kong as well, and I came here when I was 4. So 1 year less than you. So
there you go.
Yeah, really cool. Nice. So yeah, Will. Second last question is, how do you build, since you're in sales, how do you build rapport with people? How do you build trust with people so you can thrive in your business? Like, what's the secret to building trust with people?
Yes, that's really good question. So I think the advantage that I have, given my experience, is,
Yeah.
I've learned a lot of tactics and hacks,
Yeah.
to gain people's trust,
Yeah.
quickly.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, every human being has a gut instinct. So if you were ingenuine,
Yeah.
and you were trying to rip people off, or you were just, half-assed and
Yeah.
not really genuinely interested in that person, they'll
Yeah.
pick up on it. Like, they'll know.
Yeah.
So for me, I think one of the best things is just having a curiosity.
Yeah.
Okay, having a curiosity about the other person.
Yeah.
And I'm someone who's relatively curious. I'm always curious about other people, other events, business, and anything that I'm kind of that I kind of get exposed to. I have a degree, a healthy level of curiosity.
Yeah.
So because of that, I guess I come across as genuine.
Yeah.
When I talk to people.
Yeah.
And I ask questions about the other person. I ask questions about the other person. So, why are you doing this, and what's interests you, and how did you get to where you are now? And I think when you're asking these genuine questions, people feel more connected. And I think one of the things also is, you probably know this better than most, is no human being likes to talk about anyone else except themselves more. Right. So if you can lead the conversation whereby you're asking more questions about the other person will feel more connected to you.
Yeah.
And obviously some of the tricks of the trade really is just trying to identify things that you can connect the other person with. Like, you and I, we're both from Hong Kong.
Yep.
So you go, oh, great, there's one connection there. We both came when we were 4 or 5.
Yep.
Great, there's a connection there. We both go to really cool hairstylists, and there's another connection there. So you're just finding all these different connections because people want to deal with people that are exactly the same as them. So so by asking questions, having a good level of curiosity and asking the right questions, you start to understand who the other person is, and what motivates them, what their interests are, and then you just try to identify things that you are related, that you have a connection with. And the more questions you ask, or the better the questions you ask, the more they're going to open up, the more they're going to tell you about them, and the more things that you can identify. And basically, if the more connections you have with that person, the more trust you're going to get. But like I said, at the end of the day, it's going to be, you have to come from a place of, genuine curiosity. You can't just, try to pretend, and you can't have ill intent, because human beings, we've got really good gut instinct. We can pick it up if someone's trying to lie to us, trying to mislead us, and things like that. So I think those are sort of things that's worked well for me, and I think it'll probably work well for most people.
Very well said. I guess what I picked up from you is like being genuine yourself, being honest, and having that authenticity when you connect with people. It's very true. I think you should become a life coach as well, Will. You said you tick a lot of boxes in terms of how you can build more trust with people, and especially like if you've been in 21 years in real estate sales, then I guess you're very good at communicating with people, building trust with people, finding connections, like what you said. So yeah, so it's really cool what you do.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
Nice. In terms of the real estate fitness, how do you help people?
So I think most people, most people are self-conscious about their appearance. Okay, especially if you're in a career where you're client facing. Okay, so back to your prior point, about my sort of presentation.
Yeah.
So, you know, the reason why most people pay a lot of attention to their own sort of appearance is because they want to feel confident.
Yeah.
They want to be received well, and they want to be treated fairly and treated well. So to that end, because the clients that I service are all real estate professionals,
yeah,
they're all client facing.
Yeah.
So they're very conscious about their appearance.
Yeah.
And by no means am I saying that there's anything wrong with people that don't have a six-pack, and I'm not saying that everyone needs to have a six-pack.
Yeah.
But I think you know, when you are wearing your body 24/7,
yeah,
that says a lot about you as an individual.
Yeah.
If someone comes out and looks, you know, healthy, then the subconscious message that you're conveying to the other person is this guy or this girl looks after himself or herself. Okay.
Yeah.
And that gives a lot of confidence to the other person that, hey, if this person spends so much time and energy looking after their own self, then I can potentially trust this person with my real estate affairs or with my financial affairs and things like that.
Yep.
Because if you look at all the successful life coaches in the world,
yep,
like Tony Robbins, probably, you know, #1 up there.
Yep.
If you look at all of them, they all appear healthy.
Yep.
Okay, they don't all have six packs, but at least, you know, they're not obese or anything like that. They all look pretty healthy.
Yep.
And because they also know that self-care is very, very important. Yep. So how I help my clients in real estate fitness is to, one is really to sharpen their mindset, to say, hey, look, to identify why they need to get fit, lose weight, get their energy level up and things like that. And then once the mindset is clear, then, you know, the rest of the mechanics come pretty smoothly. So the #1 thing that I want to do is just improve everyone's energy level. That's kind of #1. Yeah. And then in order for you to do that, then obviously, you know, you have to get your weight at the optimum level. Yeah. You have to have the right fuel in your body, eating the right food. You have to get adequate sleep. Yeah. And then the other one is you have to have, you know, adequate amounts of water during the day. Yeah. Yeah, so kind of that's what I do. So what I do is, in a nutshell, is I try to optimize the individual's energy output. Yep.
Nice, very well said. I learned a lot of tips. It's always good to get back to basics as well, right? Yeah, so really cool. Thanks for sharing a lot of tips. I guess it's very valuable what you do, and it helps a lot of people in their lives as well to be more confident in themselves, I guess. Yeah. Self-awareness is very important as well, I think. So yeah, the way you project yourself, so people can look up to you and things like that. So I got a lot of valuable tips from you, which is really good.
Yeah, cool. Oh, I'm glad to hear.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that. And Will. So the last question is, how do we find out more about you? Do you have a website? Are you on social media? Let the audience know how they can connect with you.
Yeah. Great. So I'm on several platforms. Yep. So obviously Facebook I'm on, so it's just Will Tong. Yeah. And then I'm on Instagram as well, which is i.am.will.tong. Yeah. I'm on TikTok these days. I just started, so it's Will_Tong. Yeah. And I also just started a YouTube channel as well, which is also called Will Tong. So that's probably the best places to connect with me. And then from there, you'll also find links to my businesses.
Interesting. Cool. So no worries. So later on, I'll be editing this video, and it'll have all your links and things like that on social media, so the audience can connect with you.
Great. Cool. Thank you.
Yeah. So Will, thanks for joining today's interview. I enjoyed talking with you, and I got a lot of tips, and I think that the audience will gain a lot of value from you as well. So yeah, viewers, know how to be like Will. So it's very cool. And follow him on Instagram, follow him on all social media platforms, and yeah, that's really cool. So Will, thanks for joining today. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you very soon. And thanks for joining into the interview today.
No problem. Thanks for having me, Sam. I really enjoyed it.
No worries. Thanks a lot. Looking forward to seeing you soon. All right. Have a good one.
Thank you.